Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. I've been a little under the weather, but I'm feeling better each day. But anyway, um, I got to thinking about this topic. How can people stay married? How can people stay married? What can people do to avoid being divorced? What can people do to avoid divorce? In my case, with my first marriage, he was the kind of husband that would bring other women to the house. That's just, whew. I know brothers expect for us women to endure whatever they throw our way. They want us to endure it and they don't want us to complain. And, that's the way they want it. But, brothers, when you bring the other woman to our home, like I told my husband back then, you defiled our home. We've only been here a few months. We used his VA loan to buy our first home and everything. I prayed him back from the war. You know what I'm saying? And even when he came back from the war, he was trying to bring some Filipino lady back with him. I was like, goodness gracious. I just gave birth to our first child. You were away at war while I was pregnant. You missed the entire pregnancy and you come back wanting to bring a woman home. I couldn't handle it at that time, but technically I was a career woman and it really would have worked actually, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, I could have, we could have gotten another place where he can go be him. I divorced, y'all. I divorced, but if I didn't want to divorce, we could have lived separately and kept the legal marriage. We could have kept the legal marriage, lived separately, because some men, we were married in our early 20s. I was 20 and he was like 22. We were really young. Some men be like 60, 70, almost dead before they settle down. Even though they legally married, they be legally married and sleeping with any woman they want and man. They sleep with any man and woman they want, whether it's threesomes, foursomes. My second husband and I, we were swingers and polyamorous, so together. And so, I was trying to set us up that way where we could live separately, you know, so that we wouldn't have to legally divorce and mess up all the money that we spent 25 years accumulating. We spent 25 years accumulating our little wealth and he threw it all away to divorce and marry somebody else when we could have just lived separate. But, you know, we don't live in a society that allow people to feel that it is okay to be separated. I'd rather live separately and keep the marriage and make sure that my children have access to their father if that's what he gonna do, than to completely destroy the marriage and you know, because the second marriage was hell. It was hell. It was absolute 25 years of hell for me and my daughters. And it ended it with him basically touching my daughter when she was 14, touching her butt. And it ended with him telling me a few years later that he regretted ever marrying me in the first place because he didn't want to, admit to anything, deal with anything. He didn't want to go to therapy, nothing. Then he ended up stealing one of her lovers. And to this day, he is with Sugar Baby. My daughter and the Sugar Baby are no longer friends, but the Sugar Baby is with her stepfather, even though he's married to a white woman. This man is a piece of work, y'all. I know black men say that he deserves this white woman. She's the prize. Well, he made it to his white woman, y'all. He touched my daughter. He treated us like trash to earn his white woman. So if you the kind of black man out there that cheer black men who shit on black families just to get to the white woman, then y'all won. Y'all won with my ex. He shitted on us so hard and then got to his white woman. It was ridiculous, y'all. But anyway, this is a hood channel. So if you're wondering who is this woman and why is she talking like this is a hood ministry, and I do use scripture. If you think about it, remember Jacob, Leah, and Rachel? Jacob hated Leah. The Bible says he hated his wife. There are men who hate their wives. And he had four. He had four wives, but he hated that one. He loved the other woman, her sister, who waited around for him, you know. So I just keep it real on my channel. My second marriage put us through hell, and he ran off with a white woman. But black men feel like that he earned this white woman, and we deserve to be shitted on because we was probably not shit from the gate. Me and my kids wasn't shit from the gate. So that's why it's okay for him to have shitted on us and run off with my daughter's lover and marry some white woman. You know what I'm saying? After I raised two adopted sons for him, I didn't need extra kids. I didn't need extra kids. He wanted those extra damn kids. He wanted them. And I raised them, did a good damn job. Neither one of those black boys were arrested on my watch. He walked off when the younger one was 21. That boy graduated from college and has a good career, the last I knew. But when he left me for the white woman, because my sons are into white women too, they don't even like black women at all. I just let them all go. I let my husband go run to his white woman and let my sons, they were raised in the suburbs. So usually suburban black boys in Michigan always end up with white women anyway. So I just raised two black boys, end up with white women. My dumb ass, right? But that's just how it is here. You have no choice. You have no choice in Michigan where I live to give your man up, your sons, your husbands, your brothers, your cousins, they're gonna end up being absorbed in the white world. The white women are just waiting to suck them up. And it's like I put a lot of work into my adopted sons for my husband. For him to just turn around, touch my daughter inappropriately, steal her girlfriend, and end up with a white woman, all happy. Now, keep in mind, he's happy with his white woman. They're all living their best white life out there. They're living their best white life. And it may sound like I'm hating. Fine. I take the risk of sounding like a hater, but I'm putting my story out there because that Negro did us dirty and he didn't need to. If people say, well, you probably did something wrong, you deserved it. Okay, well, what could I have possibly done for him to touch my daughter's ass? Explain that, black men. What could I have done that would justify him touching my daughter's ass? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I want to hear it. Black men, tell me what could I have possibly done as a black woman, a old, ugly, ratchet, no good black woman in America that don't deserve shit because I'm black and nappy headed? What could I have possibly done that would allow my husband to touch my daughter's ass? Please explain that. Please explain. I'm waiting. Because she out here struggling in this world because of him. She was struggling with her sexuality during that time, and she was trying to wear girly girl clothes because she was a tomboy and she was always wearing tomboy clothes. But when she was 14, she was trying to wear girly clothes for a minute. He gonna touch her ass. She went right back to tomboy clothes. Right back. And to this day, she looked like a man. I don't have a problem with it, but I know it's because of my husband and her stepfather. So yeah, sometimes it's better off to just separate from your first husband. Just separate. Because second and third and fourth and fifth husbands, ladies, they can fuck up your life worse than the first one sometimes. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes it's better to just separate and never legally divorce. I'm speaking hindsight. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not trying to keep no black man from his white woman. I am not. I know how important white women are to black men. I know that. I spend my whole life watching this shit happen. My whole 56 years watching black man after black man after black man after black man. That's my preference. That's my preference. Go ahead to your preference. I ain't stopped not one black man from being with his preference. Not at all. Not at all. Not my first husband, not my second husband, not the sons I raised. None of these men. Not my godsons that I helped raise. All these black men. They just get raised by black families and run off to the white world and give it all up. Give it all up to them and just call us black, ugly, unwanted, and just, die. And it's okay. I'm not dating anymore. I can afford to speak. I know there are a lot of women who are still dating and married and all that, and you can't afford to speak this way because you're still dealing with men. I'm done with them. I'm done with them, so I can say what I want. I don't need anything from them anymore. I'm close to death. I'm not going to marry anymore. They don't want me anyway. And I put 32 years of legal marriage in just to be dumped twice for other women. But I did put in 32 years of legal marriage. And the second marriage did not deserve it. But, as a woman, I'm not going to keep running through a bunch of men. Once my second marriage hit and I realized that it wasn't going to be shit either, I'm stuck. As a woman, I'm not going to jump out here going in and out of men. Either stick with this one and make it work as best you can, or be ran through. And I'm just not a ran through woman. I'm not going to do it. So I've been celibate for 3 years now and love it. And I'm retired from relationships and now I can just speak my piece. And it is what it is. But yeah, sometimes it's better to just separate and stay legally married for financial reasons because it's hard to keep over. Trust me, that white woman was not worth spending about $1 million on that divorce. That Negro lost about $1 million for this white woman. And I was willing to let him have whatever he wanted. He could have had that woman, the sugar baby, all the hoes, but keep the money. We just needed to live separately. Even the second marriage, as trifling as that shit was, it didn't have to end. But he walked out. God held me back. God, because I was ready to let it go, but God held me back because God knew that he was gonna walk. I'm like, yes. And it led to basically $1 million divorce. Not that I have $1 million in my pocket, no. Between, houses, pension, 401k, whatever, it all adds up about that. You know what I mean? But it's not like I have it in my pocket. I eat free food, guys. I don't work. I eat free food. My house is paid for, thank the Lord. You know what I mean? So, but when I realized back in 2011, 2010, that he was throwing me to the curb based on his actions, I started preparing, preparing. Yeah, I had nothing. So I can only prepare under his leadership. I can only prepare under him. So it's a blessing that I own a home because I had to own it through the marriage. And he was dumping me. I had to figure out how to own a home so me and my kids wouldn't be in the street while he was leaving, guys. It was a hot mess. But I was there and raised the kids. And both my boys, the adopted sons, were special needs. So I really had to stay home. I really had to stay home because both of those boys were special needs, and one of them was always getting kicked out of school all the time. And that's how he did me. That's how he did me. But for whatever reason, black men feel like black women deserve whatever we get, and they want us to suffer through whatever they put us through. They they sleep with our moms, sleep with our sisters, sleep with our cousins, sleep with our friends, so run through all the women in our family, touch our kids, steal their lovers, and we're not supposed to complain, do nothing, and then they call us nappy headed and abandon us. It's just a mess. I tell you guys, I'm not looking at the comments, but it's just a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. Can men say the same stuff? Yes. Can men say them women, treat us so wrong, they this, they that, but yeah, they can. Yes, they can. There are many, many, many videos of black men complaining about black women. Well, I'm not complaining. I'm suggesting how to avoid divorce. Stop giving white people all this money. You can love white people without giving them our money. Why you got to give them our money? If they really love you like that, then they don't need your money. But that's neither here nor there. But if black people want to stop being thrown under the bus constantly over and over and over and over and over, we got to do something. We got to do something. But right now, the way the system is set up, black men are being raised by black families, whether it's a single mother home or however it's set up, just to be turned over to white people one way or another. The white women are waiting for marriage. The prison doors are open. Um, in a minute, it's about to be military doors about to open back up because the military's been shut down for a long time. For a while there, it was hard to get in, but I think it's going to change in a minute. Everybody hate us. Everybody around the world hate us right now. So we need to gear up for war. But Obama put black men in dresses, and it's like, whew, which may be saving their lives. I don't know. Maybe Obama saved black men's lives putting y'all in dresses and lipstick. I don't know. If he did save y'all life, well, then thank you. Thank you, Obama, for putting our men in dresses and lipstick and heels and stuff so they won't have to go to war, I guess. Thank you. That's a blessing because I have 7 grandsons and I don't want them to be killed off so easy like that. I'd rather them marry a white woman than to be killed off in war. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? But anyway, yeah, but to save our marriages, sometimes we have to live separately. Especially you have the kind of spouse that bring lovers home. Some spouses want all their lovers under the same roof. I'm not that kind. I like having my own house. I like having my own. And if somebody else come along, then they have to have their own. Period. It's just that simple. So we're gonna have to do something different, guys. What does love got to do with it? Love come from God. We just need to live in a wealthy way down here. Love come from God. I don't do all this for love. I do all this so that I can obey the Bible and build wealth and legacy among my family. And I can't afford to be in no more relationships because 32 years of marriage put me kind of like behind the curve a little bit. And so, sex is one of them things that put women kind of like behind the curve. So I have to close my legs to bring my family back up. Again, I got 7 grandsons. I can't afford to be laying up with men. Not with 7 grandsons. They need every bit of my education. I have a PhD. I mean, they don't have to go to college because I have it. I have it. If they go, great. But they don't have to because I'm gonna make sure they know what they need to know. Know how to own a business. Know how to own a home. You know, be an entrepreneur. Even if you do gotta, work part time or something for some benefits or whatever, you still have your own. These are the things that I'm teaching my grandsons, which I learned with their grandfather. Their grandfather followed it, and he's a wealthy man, the first husband. These are his 7 grandsons I'm raising. And he out there, living his best rich life. Do whatever he wants. But anyway, all right, guys. So yeah, sometimes you just have to live separate, keep the marriage. If you have a spouse that bring lovers home, I can't stand it. Don't let me be out there working 9 to 5, providing the medical insurance and everything. And I come home early from work and you got a white woman in my house. What? Any woman, of course, guys, any woman. But we live in a world where, the white woman thing really, sticks out. It gets a lot of views. So yeah, that's why I go that route with it. But yeah, oh my God. Yeah, let's try to save our marriages legally. Just the legal part of it. Divorce is so expensive, it makes no sense. When you can just love who you gonna love. Just love who you gonna love. But keep the money in the family. But people, I don't know. They let strangers, intruders come in and destroy what they've already built. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and just consider separating instead of divorcing. Like Papoose and Remy Ma. They don't need to divorce. They do not need to divorce. They just need to write out the separation. Just write it out. Now, if it's over, it's just over. There's nothing we can do about it. But if they write it out, hmm, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? I'm just saying. All right, guys. Bye.